Morning, a former Philadelphia police lieutenant has been formally charged now with simple assault.
Yeah, the charges stem from the incident that was recorded on a cell phone. You've seen this probably 100 times now. It shows Lieutenant Jonathan Josey allegedly hitting a woman at a gathering after the Puerto Rican Day parade. The victim, Ada Guzman, was knocked to the ground and had a bloody lip. Josey has been dismissed from duty by the commissioner. A lawyer for the victim says they would have liked to see Officer Josey face aggravated assault charges instead of simple assault.
Well, let's talk about the difference between those two. We have Rocco Cipparone here. He joins us to explain more about these charges. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for coming in.
I don't know if the average person knows the difference with assault, simple assault, the degrees here.
The primary difference is the degree of injury that's caused by the assault. So in this case, I think the simple assault charges are really the appropriate charges from what I can see on the video.
Well, we've all looked at that video, and, you know, at first blush, you look at it and say, wait a second, I can't believe that just happened. What could be an excuse for that behavior?
From what I can see on the video, and we have to remember, we're only seeing a limited portion of it, but from what I can see, there really isn't much excuse. She's walking away, essentially. He reaches around from behind her and hits her in the face. I think it's an appropriate charge.
So help me understand, okay? Let's say they had some tussle before it and I didn't see it. Let's say she spit on him, she did something horrible. There's that pause there, and then in the video, all we see is him sock her. How do you explain, even if there's a gap, you still, without her doing anything, socked her?
Well, I agree. It's a difficult defense to make, I think, even if there was some precursor to her attacking him, because she's walking away. I think that's the primary problem he's going to have in defending this case.
Okay, so the police commissioner says it warranted his dismissal. But now our district attorney, Seth Williams, says we're going to charge him criminally. What's the difference, and can you use the police commissioner's opinion at a trial? You
really cannot use the police commissioner's opinion at a trial. They're two separate proceedings. One is really just with respect to his employment, and the other is a criminal charge. So they really run on separate tracks.
We have to move on, but really quickly, I think Steve Keeley said earlier, 90% of these officers who are fired end up getting their jobs back. So is it thought then that even though we go through all of this, he can still ultimately get his job again?
Well, that's possible, but if he's convicted, it makes it much less likely he'll get his job back.
All right.
Interesting. All right, let's talk about this new person in this Petraeus scandal. We always knew there was the shirtless FBI agent. Now we know who he is. And apparently he has been a friend for a while of our Philadelphia native, Jill Kelly. She starts, there's the man right there, as a matter of fact. So he's a special agent. He's 47 years old, been with the agency for quite a while. So Jill Kelly and he are friends, fine. She starts getting threatening emails, she says, from this mistress of General Petraeus. Hey friend, I've known you, you're in the FBI, could you check this out for me? Is that standard?
It's fairly standard that if you know someone in the FBI and you're going to start an investigation, you might initially go to that person. Because he had a personal relationship, he probably should have backed off and passed it off to another FBI
And apparently
agent.
That did happen.
Right. Ultimately it did.
Ultimately it did. So he's not breaking any laws there?
No, he's not breaking any laws. I mean, it's, you know, maybe decorum in terms of his official position, but he's not breaking any laws.
Well, speaking of breaking laws, I have a question about Paula Broadwell, the mistress here, the autobiographer of David Petraeus here. She's the one who, you know, sent those emails in the first place. Now we're hearing that she had classified documents, okay, in her possession. In fact, she stole them from government buildings, storing this classified military material at her home.
Now, do we know that she thought she was stealing them or thought she had the right to have them because she had some clearances? What are you hearing?
Well, it really depends on whether she had the clearances or not. If she didn't have the clearances, that's going to create a major problem for her, both criminally and in many other respects. So I'm not hearing whether or not she had the clearances. They're playing this fairly close to the vest on that, and I'm curious to see what develops.
That's why the FBI went into her house and took all this information in boxes out of her house.
So if it is, obviously, and they find that there was material in her home that she shouldn't have had there, she could face charges here?
She's got a big problem if they find out that there's classified material that she did not have authority to possess, and it's probably unlikely she did.
Yeah.
And that could, well, there's no link to that General Petraeus would ever have known that she had those documents.
I'd be very surprised if he knew she had those documents.
And it seems like the FBI seems like that he did not know she had them.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing as well.
It's just such a web. You know
it's what a tangled web, when, you know, when you get in a triangle, it's a problem.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, Rocco, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for coming in.
Thanks, guys. Great to see you.